Welcome to From Fields to Stream TV. In this programme we're back on the River Coquet in Northumberland on the Upper Morwick beat, and we're out with Mr. Purple Whiskers himself showing us how he fishes the prawn. Hope you enjoy the programme.
Well, we're shrimping today on the Coquet, Northumberland, on the Upper Morwick beat. About a mile and a half or so from the tide. Seen plenty of sea trout, nice shoals of sea trout in there, and a few salmon rolling. The water's crystal clear at the moment. If that sun come out, we'll be able to spot the fish a lot easier. It's just a bit overcast at the moment, but hopefully it'll brighten up this afternoon. But we know that there's fish lying along that far bank, just off that ledge. And there's fish in a pool up there. So, day's early yet, we might be in with a good chance. Lost a nice wee fish earlier this morning, which is a shame. But that's the way it goes. Hopefully we'll get a fish before the day's over. D, owner of Purple Whiskers. These are a few of the prawns that I do in the various colours. People will ask, why do you have so many colours? Good question. Red and purple are the two favourites. Anglers have been using those for years. Purple and red, you'll never go wrong with. My favourite out of the lot would be the purples, but I wouldn't go fishing without the reds either. Out of the fish I had yesterday, they all came to the double prawn setup, red and purple. Other colours available: burgundy, pink, yellow, natural. Some rivers you'll find that certain colours have a cult following. Blackwater in Cork, for example, burgundies, fantastic colour. Tyne in England, burgundy, it's a great colour for there. Just seems to be the water conditions suit that particular colour. The pinks, a few anglers have been using these with great success over the last few seasons. Fantastic. It's just a different colour to show fish that I've seen every other colour, and it's a good addition to have in your bait box. Other than that, fresh fish I would say would hammer any colour of prawn. But if you have purple and red in your box, you've covered most of the bases. Okay, I get a lot of questions about how to rig these prawns onto hooks. It's quite simple really. There's two methods of hooking them. You have a single hook, or you can use a treble and a pin. Most anglers will use a treble and a pin, so this is how it's done. Dead easy. Take your prawn, straighten her out, and insert a point in at the tail. Just simply straighten the prawn out, carefully push the pin up in through the centre of the prawn. Just take care that it doesn't pop out the sides of the shell. That's it. The treble hook then, one barb, nick it in under the chin, and that's her mounted. Now at this stage you can make it more durable by wrapping it up with elasticated thread. Shrimp will basically stay on the hook for a lot longer. Personally, that's enough for me. If the shrimp breaks or falls off, I don't have to take away any elastic. So that's it, mounted on treble and pin. The other method, favoured by most of the Irish guys, is to mount them on a single hook. Basically any hook will do, but everybody has their own personal favourites. This one here is a Cox and Raw. It's an uptight extra, size 1/0. And it's the same again. Straighten out the shrimp, take the hook point, pop it in at the tail and gently thread the shrimp up around the bend to bring the hook point out in the underside of the head area. That's my preferred method. Single hook. Brilliant for catching the lice. No thread needed, although you can if you want. So that's your two hooking methods. When you have a single hook on, you can either fish it as a single, but the beauty about the single hook is, and a favourite method of mine and many others, is to use a 2-prawn setup. And to do that, just take your second prawn, straighten her out, put hook point in under the head at an angle where you can bring the hook point just coming out through the back. You can just feel that point coming through the shell there. Absolutely no hooks can be seen by the fish. Perfect. On heavy fish waters where people are either using single reds or single purples, sometimes that can be the difference in getting the fish or not. That is my preferred method of fishing those. Okay, float I'm using today is a sliding float. You can easily adjust the depth by your little silicone float stop. Slides up and down the line, grips wherever you stop it. Basically the way to set that up is on your main line, slip on one of your silicone float stops, small bead, then your float. This is one of our own. Simple sliding float. A rubber buffer bead followed by your weight, another buffer bead and a swivel. All the rubber beads do is if you strike or snag and you have to pull out of something, the rubber buffer beads stop the lead weight either smashing up the bottom of your float or damaging the nut at the swivel. So they're a handy wee addition to have. Then simply a foot or so, 15-pound clear nylon, a little split shot, and in this case a single hook. If you want to use treble and pin, then treble and pin, but that's the basic setup. Let's say you can adjust depth easily, up or down. Covers all situations. Great.